Today, our special guest is Mr. Legendary Dave Scott. Mr. Scott in the Austin. Yes, we're excited. We're super
and
excited.
crazy as always.
Thank you for taking time to participate in Catchup.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it. So, when last night in our staff room?
A few years.
A few years.
Yeah, about probably 2-3 years since I've been in
This
in
staff
here.
room. Because we're in Money School staff room right now because it's raining outside. But actually, it's working out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your current location?
In terms of work,
Yes, in terms of work.
I'm presently at the Howard Cook Primary School in Montego Bay as principal. I've been there now since June 2009. That makes it 9+ years.
Yes.
Yes. Fortunately or unfortunately, I had to leave here.
For the kids.
I had to leave here. No, they're doing well. They're doing well.
So
Yes.
tell me, Mr. Say, you say, I would further. I'm not serious.
Why?
They really asking me why.
I was a gentle lamb.
Mr. Scott.
I was a gentle lamb.
We don't know how to respond to that. All right. Okay,
Yes,
Mr. Scott.
yes,
You are a
yes.
gentle, fluffy
I
man.
treated all of you with kid gloves in you.
You know, say the teacher, right?
Yes, I know. Yes.
Somebody actually experienced it firsthand.
Yes.
Okay.
What a pleasurable experience it was that. Not you.
How many years were you teaching at Money?
I actually ended up teaching 19.5 years here.
19 and a half
Yes.
years. And what subjects did you teach?
Math.
Math. Only math.
Only
And
math.
then you do sports.
Right. Lots of people thought I also taught PE, but I didn't. I was based in the PE department.
Yes,
And I was in all sports.
all sports.
All sports.
Any
But,
favorites?
well, I coached football for about 12-13 years of the 19.5 years. I coached track and field too. As a matter of fact, I got here through track and field when Mr. Jackson was alive. He scouted me.
Yes.
So I got here in January 1998. I should have been here from the September of '89, but that's the next story. And I coached track and field for the boys team.
Yes.
Myself and Mr. Roosevelt Campbell, God rest his soul, for the first 2 years. And then I stuck to football. So I coached both. Dhaka stuck up. I coached under 16 football, and I coached also female football. I was in, yes, myself and Claudia.
Yes.
Started the football program. Yes.
I never knew that.
Yeah, man.
Was there
So people like Rosalie
Yes.
started in my hand, and Lexia, all of them started in my hands here.
Now I didn't let pop up in the Catchup video them.
That's the time you grow it up.
We say, yeah, Mrs. Boy, that peer people would say,
No.
Kind of hard because she just said me, but for you, think bribery is kind of possible because you don't.
No possible. and if I'm to be mentioned in the same breath as Mrs. Boyd, then I know me up there.
So,
Yes.
is it different being a principal? How has the transition been?
Different type of stress. Yes. Classroom teaching is a whole different kettle of fish than in administration, because right now I don't actually teach, but students are much easier to manage than adults. So sometimes I say I should have been back in the classroom, back at Manning's in the classroom, but then again I couldn't pay my bills, and so of course, but it's a different type of stress. I'm coping.
You're enjoying it?
Yes, I'm enjoying it.
Yes.
Different type of stress, and I'm seeing reaping the benefits from the students, and each day being hugged by these little ones. It's a blessing feeling. Yeah.
Your sound so squishy wishy. We never see you this night in the morning.
No, you see, you have to remember, you know.
Oh,
in each situation, you have to adapt.
Okay.
All right. Remember, you know, when I was in the class, when I was actually teaching in the classroom, I was this militant man.
Yes, you
But
were.
when you saw me, when you meet me anywhere else on the school compound, I'm the nicest, most jovial person in the world you can find. You have to be in the situation and adapt to each situation. Being the principal, you have to understand that, oh, well, I have to make the adults happy, and sometimes I have to make them sad because you can't make them happy all the while. But it's the nature of the job. So different type of stress, but I'm enjoying it.
Tell us about your family.
My immediate family, all right. I'm married to my wife of 22 years. It should have been 28, but no, it should have been 29 years because we were together for 7 years before we got married. She teaches at Unity Primary. Lots of students who came to me
Yes.
actually passed through her hands. So double trouble there when it comes out there. And I have 3 adult children. My first is my daughter. She's now also a teacher. She's following in my footsteps as a teacher. My elder boy is starting his 4th year at UTech, doing forensic science. And my youngest, another boy, just starting UTech in another 2 weeks or so. He'll be doing sports science in the same faculty there.
Yes.
So therefore now, at home, it will only be my wife and I. So now it's honeymoon time now. Yes.
So what do
Yes.
you do for fun? What are your hobbies? Off the clock, what do you do for fun?
I'm still in the sports.
Yes.
On a weekend, then I tend to bend my elbows.
What am I doing now?
Bend my elbows and refreshing myself. Right. you know, and just hanging out and de-stressing and deep thawing. Just thaw out. You know, when
Yes.
because of the
Some-
you bend your elbows. We should try that sometime, right? Yeah,
I do.
Right, exactly.
I like a cigar, a Cuban cigar, and some
Yes.
strong vodka.
And some strong vodka. Oh, okay, vodka is good.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Some nice, isn't it?
Yes.
I digress. It's not about me.
Yes.
So we're gonna go back to your mining school days, your mining school season. So what was your favorite memories of being a teacher here?
Well, we can go back even before I was a teacher.
Yeah.
Because I'm a past student. I remember leaving primary school at Unity
Yes.
from 1974 when I'm still a student there to walk from Stratboogie to Salomar to watch the happenings at Manning's, watch football training, watch track training. And then when I got to Manning's in 1976, then all the blue just came in, and fortunately, unfortunately, the blue blood is still running.
Look here. Is that strong blood?
Strong. Not only strong, then say Chang, he come from China. Say Chang, he come from China. Right?
Oh my God.
But as a teacher here, I have many fond memories. More fond memories than bad memories. I have very few bad memories.
Yeah.
Seeing my students, you know, when it comes up most, when you see your past students on the road,
Yes.
or you go into a bank or go into this business place, and say, "Oh, Mr. Scott," and then everybody start, you know, he was my teacher. Yes. But one of the best memories is when I left here. There was this young man who was really into troublemaking. The only 2 persons on the school compound that could have dealt with him successfully was myself and Mr. Bruce,
Yes.
Ethan Bruce. Not only the principal could deal with him. So when he left, I left, and I saw him. He was attending Mobile Come See, and he was walking with two of his friends with his shirt out of his pants, which I always talked to him here about. And he saw me. He said, "Wow, go on, Mr. Scott." And he gave his bag to his friends and said, "Hold on, this teacher, and I put the shirt in his pants." I could say, "Look at it. He's out of school, my big man.
Yes.
I'm out of school." But he had that same amount of respect, you know. And then again, when I see some students who wanted to learn, and they're not the brightest, but they're so eager to learn that they find me anywhere, anytime on the school compound and say, Mr. Scott, how this go again?
Yes.
Those things make me feel proud and give me goosebumps every time I think about it. So those are the memories that will linger with me here at Manning School, you know.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So tell us, how would you describe your teaching style, your personality?
Not bad boy. Everybody know that. And that is why I tend to get along so well with the quote unquote bad students here at Manning's. When other persons ignore them and want to throw them away, they gravitate to me because I understand where they're coming from.
Yes.
So in my teaching style, I make everything so practical.
You did.
Everyday life. That's why people think that maths is hard. Maths is not hard. I said maths is life. So if you like life, then you must like mathematics. And therefore, whatever I do, whatever topic, I make sure how it is or it relates, you know, real life situation. And I make no bones about it. I never take no foolishness in class. You know, I can't take the foolishness out of the door. And I treat
in your class.
You know.
What says to execute it?
But the thing is, you know, there are so many persons who saw me in the light that, oh, they're coming to Mr. Scott and coming to the devil. But when they come to see me, I always say my first week, forget about all that you have been told about Mr. Scott. Come and experience me for yourself. And 98% of them will come and say, why Mr. Scott, you know to me? No, that's your stay.
Yes.
You know? I said, don't take what people say of me, come and make your own judgment.
Your own experience.
Yeah, learn, yes. Come and get your own experiences. And I'm sure that once you have the correct attitude, you must achieve.
So you've been a past student, right?
Yeah.
And you've also been a teacher, now you're a principal. Was there something that you used to believe about yourself in the past? I know you look back and say that was totally bullshit, that's not me. You're just your perspective changed about your own self.
About myself? No, I know. Because I always know who I am.
Yes.
And I knew who I am from I was in primary school as a student. I've always been this confident. And I always know what I want. I know sometimes the roads have to deviate here and there. But I always know what I want and I always go and get it. So I didn't have a problem to say, well, you know, so I would have changed this, I would have changed that. No, I knew exactly who I am.
Yes.
And where I am from 1972 is the same person that is here now in 2018.
Yes. You've been consistent, man.
Yeah, I know where I am. So, you know, you can't change by every wind that blows.
Yes, that's what you were saying.
Right, you can't change, you know. You have to know, you have to be so strong that you have that, the ship has the rudder and that is guiding you. And because I know who I am, I know how to treat others. So if you deserve to get a knock in your head, you're going to get a knock in your head. If you deserve to get a hug, you're going to get a hug.
A rotted knock in your head.
Knock ya?
We just put it there for real. I don't know, knock ya.
Knock ya?
But that means you care though. That means you care.
I care about every single person who I come in contact with.
Yes.
I don't necessarily have to be speaking to you. I don't necessarily have to like you, but I care about you and I care about your well-being. And if I can do anything to assist you in your development, I'm going to do that. I'm not the one to tear you down. I will tell you that, listen to me, the way you're behaving, I don't like it. And if you're consistent in that behavior, I'm going to say, I don't like you because of your behavior.
Understand.
And that's simple as that. And who like it, who don't like it, do something else.
So you had a lot of kids pass through your hands. So what advice would you give kids now that is going through high school? You know, that you tell them sooner, like they need to know this and it would be good advice. What would you tell them?
I did 19 and a half years, but I'm in the classroom for 32 years. And I don't look like 32, not you.
You look. You look ready, Mr. Scott.
Right.
You look ready.
But what I will tell these students, know yourself. Be yourself. Be a leader. But in order to be a leader, you have to be able to be led.
Yes.
But you must learn which area you should be led in. You should allow yourself to be led in. Because all whims and fancies and different things and different people will come at you. But if you know yourself, if you know what you're about, and be positive, even when the things are negative, find something positive. In all the negatives, there must be something positive. Find that, and that will take you right through your life.
So, Mr. Scott, you didn't get the questions beforehand, but I asked everyone, is there a challenging season, one of the most challenging seasons you had in your life? And what did it teach you about yourself?
All right.
Can you think of one? Okay.
One simple one. When I left Manning's, when I came to Manning's, the wind was too bright. I didn't have to study for common entrance when my mother told me, listen, you must fail because you know study. And to this date I have not studied. I don't know what studying is. We can't say I don't know what studying is. Right? And I passed on my first chance at age 10. And that was sort of bad for me, because I didn't know the real meaning of the hard work that I was supposed to be putting in. So I did not put in that hard work. As a matter of fact, I wasted my time at Manning's as a student. And
it's hard for me to picture that, but okay.
What lots of persons don't know, that I left Manning's without a subject. Because I was not focused enough to do my work. I know I can do the work, so I just do it. And there was a big time when I hardly went to classes. Yeah. I used to have a saying, you know, that I drop TD, technical drawing, and take up TT, table tennis. So, yeah. So I used to do that. So when I left Manning's, I spent 1 year at home. This was a difficult time now. And my mother said to me, Dave, it's either you find somewhere go, or you find somewhere go. And I know exactly what that meant. Right? Either I find something to do, or I find somewhere to live. That's what it meant. And I applied to Teachers College. At that time, they had what they call a preliminary year, where you could do over your GCs and stuff. And that's what I did. And then that was the time. You see, sometimes you need a little nudge.
Yes.
And when the nudge comes, don't think people are belittling you.
Yes.
Or want to push you down, they want to push you up. All you need to do is stay positive and live up to it. Positivity is always a game. Always a game.
What is the best advice you ever received from someone else?
Oh, okay, all right. Since we're at Manning's, the best, let me use one from Manning's. I recently turned 40. And I went to the principal. Mrs. Waxstar was the principal at the time. And I said to her, Mrs. Waxstar, we turned 40 now. I mean, if you know what's going on, I want to know what is here for me. And at the moment, when she said it, I took it a bit offensive, but I sat back. She said to me, Mr. Scott, as a matter of fact, she didn't say Mr. Scott. She said, dear, your problem is you love Manning's too much. Not there for you. Let you go on.
That's not Mrs. Waxstar said.
Yeah, man. That's what she said. Mrs. Waxstar said, dear, you love Manning's too much. Not there for you, but you go on.
Aww.
And I sat back and said, thank you, Mrs. Waxstar. And I left and I went over fuming. And then very soon after, I saw an ad and I applied for the post that I'm in now. And it's after that now I realized that, well, you know, it's the best advice that anybody could ever give me, even though at the onset I thought it was rude, that something better is out there for you. Go and get it. And when I told Mrs. Wagstaff about the job, she said, I told you. I told you. And I told her thanks about 3 million times.
Aww.
Right? So the advice at the time that you get it might not seem to be what you want to hear. But if it's what you want to hear, you know it already. That means you don't need an advice on it then. So I took that advice. That is the best advice that I got. And here I am now, almost 10 years later. Then the rest is history. So
that was
yes.
That was we have about 3 more questions.
Yes.
So what does success mean to you?
Yeah. Success is making people happy. Allowing people to achieve the potential. Giving them that avenue, that opportunity to be better than they are now. And being able to reflect on what you have done and say, I have done my best. I've put in the work. I've done what I was supposed to do, plus more. And finally, being able to relax and don't even think that anybody going to come for the back of your head. That means you don't need to look over your shoulder. That is it.
That is successful.
That is successful.
What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? Wow. So many things I'm proud of, but most proud of my children. My children, and seeing that in this day and age where children can go haywire so quickly that none of them put them not on cross. You know, I'm really proud of that, and I'm proud when students from past can show me down. Sometimes I feel so timid and get so teary-eyed and goose pimples when pastors say that was my teacher, especially the ones who say we hate him first, you know. But no, he has made me be what I am today. That makes me proud. That makes me proud.
I can see it in your eyes. I hope they can see it on the camera, but boy, you beam up.
Yeah, that makes me proud.
So the very last question I have for you is, at the end of your life, what do you want us to remember about Mr. Scott?
I know what a number of persons will remember, holding out the paper.
In the power of the episode, I mean, now say nothing more than that.
Right.
You make it man catch up.
Yes, right,
oh my goodness.
I want to be remembered for as a person, as a teacher who had the interests of my students at heart, and as a teacher that never gave up on a student. Because I can't recall to this day giving up on any single student that I've taught. The thousands of students that passed through my hands. And that is what I want to remember that for. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And being me. Being me. Yeah.
That's the
True
end.
blood. True blue. True blue.
That's the end of this episode, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
He's the last person I'm interviewing today, and it has been a long day.
Yes.
Thank you for staying and participating in Catchup.
Yes, and I want to implore and impress upon all blue bloods to maintain that blue blood, not only in thought, but in deeds and actions. there is a thing, you see, one of the things that I not understanding now. Well, I understand it, but I won't say no. But what people need to understand what it means to be true blue, a Manning Spa student, a Manning student. Lots of these students now don't understand the culture, and the administration needs to get to a point where the culture of being Manning, because being a Manning student, being a Manning Spa student is different from any other thing, you know.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Big deal.
It's a big deal. And we need for us to live that true blood so that the others looking on will come on board.
Understood.
And being a true blue again. And so those who can do it in words, thoughts, deeds, actions, let us do it. Lots of people think that ask me if I still work here, because I'm here so very often. I can't leave. Some people say, then why you better leave? You should have just stay here and done, but that wasn't here for me. But I'm still here. True blue, Mannings, all the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for thanking me.
For every life that you have touched, continue to touch, and will touch in the future.
Thank you. My pleasure.
With that, I end this episode. Please like our videos, share our videos, join our YouTube channel to catch up with your schoolmates and teachers. And have a totally fantastic day, because my gosh, I had. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mannings.